You've started to feel something is off. The air around you has changed. What once felt like comfort now feels uneasy. The silence in your home isn't peaceful anymore. It feels heavy, almost watchful. And no matter how much you try to dismiss it as stress or tiredness, something inside you keeps whispering, "Pay attention." That's me speaking. That's not paranoia. That's not your imagination. That's the spirit I placed in you, alerting you to what your eyes cannot see. Where you live, the place where you sleep, breathe, think. It was meant to be a place of rest, a safe place. But now, it carries shadows that weren't there before. Maybe you didn't invite them in. Maybe someone else did. Maybe through anger, fear, addiction, lies, spiritual confusion, or things that carry a different spirit. But now, that spirit lingers. Not in the walls, but in the atmosphere. And I see what you can't. I'm not telling you this to make you afraid. I'm speaking now so you'll be awake, because what you're feeling is real. The heaviness, the emotional chaos, the strange dreams, the anxiety. It's not just you. It's what's been allowed to stay in your space. But today, I'm calling it out. Not to shame you, but to help you. Because I want to cleanse what's been poisoned. I want to bring light where darkness has settled. But for that to happen, you must first admit what you feel. Something is wrong here. The moment you acknowledge it, healing begins. This is not just a warning. This is the start of freedom. You've learned to dismiss your instincts, to explain away your unease, to keep the peace even when your spirit is in turmoil. But I gave you discernment for a reason. I placed it inside you not just for danger in the world outside, but for what can dwell quietly inside your own space. Sometimes what threatens you doesn't come through violence or noise, but through slow, quiet invasion, through what you allow to linger, what you ignore, what you're afraid to confront. That shift you feel when you're alone, that tension in the room that seems to follow you, the emotional weight that presses on your chest when everything should be still. It's not meaningless. It's not stress. It's a signal. Something in your environment is not aligned with my spirit, and I am drawing your attention to it now. Because I love you. Because your soul deserves peace. And because the place you dwell in should be a sanctuary, not a battlefield. Do not be afraid to confront what you've been avoiding. Do not silence what you feel simply to avoid conflict or disruption. Darkness thrives in what's left unspoken, unchallenged. But when you speak light, when you declare this space belongs to God, everything that doesn't belong starts to break and retreat. I will go before you. I will stand with you. But I need your agreement. I need your permission. I never force myself into locked places. I wait for your invitation. And now I'm asking you, will you let me cleanse what has contaminated your peace? Your awareness is not weakness. It is wisdom. And what you feel, it's me leading you to act. You are not alone in this. You never were. You've tried to convince yourself that it's just your mind, that the mood in your home is your fault, your overthinking, your exhaustion. But deep down, you know something else is present. A weight that doesn't belong to you. A sadness that comes out of nowhere. A fog that settles when you try to pray or think clearly. That's not just emotion. That's spiritual residue. And I'm calling your attention to it now because it's time for cleansing. Not everything that looks harmless is harmless. Not every person who entered your space left in peace. Words were spoken, thoughts were projected. Doors, spiritual doors, were opened. Some knowingly, others by accident. But the result is the same. Something has taken residence where only my presence should remain. And because you belong to me, you feel it. Your spirit knows when there's interference. Your inner peace feels suffocated. That's not a failure. That's discernment. And that discernment is my gift to you. You don't have to live with spiritual heaviness. You don't have to accept emotional chaos as normal. This is not your burden to carry. I don't want you surviving in survival mode. I want you living in peace, in clarity, in joy. But for that to happen, something has to be broken, removed, confronted. You must stand and declare, this place is not available for confusion, fear, or any spirit that's not from God. And when you speak like that, from your spirit with my authority, the atmosphere begins to shift. I don't need you to be loud. I need you to be sincere. Invite me in again. Invite me into the corners, into the closets, into the silence. I'm not far. I'm waiting. I've seen the restless nights, the tossing, the strange dreams, the thoughts that come out of nowhere, dark, confusing, sometimes even frightening. You've wondered, why am I feeling this way in my own home? And I'm answering you now, because not everything in your home carries my presence. Some things carry history, some objects, conversations, actions. They open doors to things that don't belong with you. And they stayed, unnoticed, unchallenged, tolerated. But now I'm calling your attention to them. Spiritual weight often hides behind the ordinary. It slips into your atmosphere through bitterness, through resentment, through music, through images, through silence left unchecked. You don't have to fear it, but you do need to face it, because where I dwell, peace follows. And if peace has been missing, that's a sign. I'm not blaming you. I'm inviting you to reclaim what's yours, to take your space back, not with anger but with authority, with my authority. Walk through your home and speak. Speak life. Speak purity. Speak truth. Touch the walls and say, this house is under God's covering. Walk into the room where you don't like to stay too long and say, you don't have permission to stay here anymore. Open the windows. Let the light in. Open the word. Let my truth flood what has been hidden. You don't need to understand all the how and why. You just need to respond. I am not warning you to alarm you. I'm awakening you to power. You've accepted too many things as just life, but not anymore. You are not helpless. You are not outnumbered. I'm with you. And when I am with you, no shadow can hold what you surrender to me. You've walked through your days feeling like something's pressing down on you. It's hard to explain. You get things done, you go through the motions, but there's a heaviness that never fully lifts. It waits for you when you wake up, and it lingers when the lights go off. That heaviness isn't random, it's a sign that something around you has settled that I never placed there, and I'm calling it out. Not to shame you, but to show you it doesn't have to stay. Sometimes, what burdens you isn't even yours. You carry atmospheres. You absorb what others bring in. And if your home has become a landing place for spiritual clutter, unresolved pain, fear, conflict, negativity, it begins to show. The air feels thick. The joy feels muted. Rest becomes difficult. Your body is tired, but your soul even more. And this is where I come in. I step into the unseen. I deal with what no one else notices. And right now, I'm standing at your door, knocking. I want you to understand that not everything dark screams. Some things whisper. Some things hide in habits, in decor, in old memories, in silence. But when my spirit enters, everything is exposed, not to humiliate, but to heal. I am the God who restores, who revives, who renews. But restoration begins with permission. You must give me access, not just to your heart, but to your home. Invite me in again, room by room, thought by thought. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. Don't worry about special rituals. Just speak sincerely. Call on my name. Ask me to sanctify what's been poisoned, and I will. Not tomorrow, not eventually, tonight. You've learned to adapt to what I never asked you to tolerate. You got used to walking around the heaviness instead of facing it. You lit candles, turned on music, tried to distract your mind, but the weight stayed. It's because this isn't a matter of mood, it's spiritual, and now I'm exposing what's been hiding in plain sight, not to overwhelm you, but to free you. You've wondered, why do I feel tired in this space? Why do I feel drained just being here? That's not how I designed your home to feel. Your dwelling place is meant to reflect my presence, a place of rest, clarity, and peace. When those are missing, it's time to take notice. Not everything you live with is meant to stay with you. Some things have expired, some connections, objects, memories, even emotions. They're still lingering because no one told them to leave. Until now. This is your moment to draw the line, to say, enough. No more confusion, no more fear, no more spiritual noise. When you speak like that, when you take spiritual responsibility, things begin to shift. Atmospheres respond to authority, especially the authority that comes from a child who knows who their father is. That's you. Don't be afraid to clean house, not just physically, but spiritually. Walk through each room and speak my name with intention. Jesus, this is yours. Everything that's not from you must go. You're not imagining the darkness, but you're not facing it alone either. I'm already there. I've been waiting for this invitation. And when you move in faith, I move with power. This is no longer a place of heaviness. It's becoming holy ground. I never created you to live in quiet torment. I never designed your soul to adjust to spiritual unrest. You were made for my peace, real peace, the kind that settles deeper than sleep and speaks louder than fear. But peace must be protected. It must be guarded. Because the enemy doesn't always come with force, sometimes he comes with slow decay. Little compromises, open doors that seem harmless at first. And before you realize it, your home feels heavy. Your heart feels divided and you don't know why. But I know why. And I've known all along. That's why I'm speaking to you now. Not to shame you. Never to shame you. But to awaken you. Because what you feel is not only real, it's spiritual. Your home should not be a place where you hide from your own emotions. It should not be a place where anxiety lives and joy visits rarely. That is not my will for you. Today, I want you to take back authority, not just over your feelings, but over your space, over the air, the walls, the energy. Speak out loud. This space belongs to God. This home is under His covering. No voice, no spirit, no presence that is not from Him may remain. You don't need perfect words. You need a sincere heart and the courage to stand. You've been quiet for too long. Now it's time to speak. I've placed my spirit inside you. That means you have more power than you think. Darkness may try to hide, but it can't withstand a soul filled with my light. Don't wait for someone else to clear the atmosphere. You're the one I've appointed for this. You are the gatekeeper of your peace. So rise, not in fear, but in faith. I'm with you. I go before you. I stay behind you. And I dwell within you. This house is about to shift. Do not underestimate what I can do with a simple, surrendered prayer. You think you need to be strong, loud, or perfect for things to change. But I work best through honest hearts, through small steps of faith, through whispered declarations like, God, I give you this space, please clean what I cannot see. That's where breakthrough begins, not in striving, but in surrender. I've seen the moments where you walked from room to room, unsure why your spirit felt restless. I was with you. I felt the weight with you. I waited for you to notice what your heart was trying to say. Something in here needs my touch. Not everything is about what people say or do. Some of what surrounds you is spiritual resistance. It's real, and it responds to my presence, but I will not move where I'm not invited. I am a God of love, not control. So here I am, once again, at the door, knocking, waiting, ready to shift the energy, cleanse the air, silence the noise, lift the heaviness, ready to expose what has been draining you. That corner you always avoid, I see it. That room that feels heavy, I know why. That sense of spiritual fog that clouds your clarity, I can remove it. instantly, but not without your yes. Walk with me. Let's go through your space together, not with fear, but with intention. Let me lead your thoughts, guide your prayers, show you what needs to go. You're not imagining this. You're not being too sensitive. You're responding to a spiritual reality, and I'm proud of you for listening. Keep going. The shift has already begun. There are things that have lingered in your home not because you allowed them, but because you didn't know they were there. But now you do. And that knowledge is not a burden. It's a gift. Because now you can act. Now you can reclaim. And I will go with you. I never intended for you to walk through this alone. I am not just a God of power. I am the Father who stands beside you as you make your home holy again. This isn't about superstition. It's about atmosphere. What fills the air? What rests on the walls? What voices are still echoing from arguments that ended months ago? What pain is trapped in objects, photos, words never spoken but always felt? These things leave residue, and you've lived long enough with residue you didn't create, but today we wipe it clean. Let's make this home a sanctuary again. Let's reestablish peace, not just with new furniture or fresh paint, but with new presence. My presence. Every corner, every shadow, every inch touched by my spirit. Don't just clean. Declare. Say aloud what your soul has been whispering. This place belongs to God. No darkness is welcome here. No fear is tolerated. No confusion may live here anymore. You are not just taking back physical space. You are taking back spiritual ground. And the atmosphere will obey your voice when your voice echoes mine. That's what authority is. Agreement with heaven. You don't need to feel strong. You just need to agree. And when you do, my power meets your words. The heaviness lifts, the fog clears, and peace returns. You've gone through seasons where you felt like the atmosphere around you was louder than your own thoughts, where peace felt distant and rest felt impossible. You tried to pray, but the words felt stuck. You tried to focus, but something always pulled you away. That wasn't weakness, that was resistance. And it wasn't all coming from within you. Some of it came from around you, from what had been allowed to remain without challenge. But now, the challenge has come. You've made it halfway through something you didn't even realize was a battle. That's why it felt so exhausting. You were fighting invisible forces with a tired soul. But I've been strengthening you quietly, moment by moment, breath by breath. You're not where you started. Your awareness is sharper. Your spirit is more awake. Your authority is growing. Now it's time to go deeper. I'm not just clearing the surface, I'm reclaiming the foundation. That means you may feel things shake a little. Old emotions may resurface. Forgotten memories may come back. Not to haunt you, but to heal you. I don't bring things up to hurt you. I bring them up to remove what the enemy planted in secret. So don't run from it. Face it, with me. Keep walking room to room, even in your thoughts. Invite me into the spaces you've avoided, the memories you've buried, the patterns you've normalized. Say out loud, nothing hidden will stay hidden. Everything that resists God's peace must go. You don't need a script. You just need permission, and you've already given it. Now let me finish what we've started. You're not cleaning up a mess. You're preparing a holy space. You've begun to notice the difference. The air feels lighter. The silence feels calmer. Your thoughts aren't fighting as hard to find peace. That's not your imagination. That's the result of alignment. When your spirit, your space, and my presence begin to move in one rhythm, you've been obedient, and now you're beginning to taste the fruit of that obedience. But don't stop here. This isn't the end of a cleansing. It's the beginning of a new atmosphere. A home that not only keeps darkness out but welcomes light in. My light. Not just to protect you, but to rest on you, to refresh you, to empower you. You're not just evicting what doesn't belong. You're inviting what was always meant to stay. My presence, my peace, my voice. Let me fill this place. Don't just remove what drains you. Replace it. Speak my name in this house daily. Sing, even if it's quiet. Open the word, even if it's just one verse. Give me your first thoughts in the morning. Give me your last breath at night. I'm not asking for performance, I'm asking for presence, because when you give me your attention, I give you my covering, and no darkness can dwell where I am honored. You've broken spiritual patterns that were trying to stay hidden. You've reclaimed territory that was slowly being surrendered. This house, your house, is not the same anymore, and you are not the same anymore. You walk with awareness now, with purpose, with discernment. You carry my spirit into every room you enter. That is no small thing, so continue. Keep it holy, keep it filled, keep it mine, and I will keep it protected. There is a reason you've been drawn to this message, to this moment. Nothing I do in your life is random. Every prompting, every tug on your heart, every whisper that made you pause, it's all part of how I lead. I've been guiding you here, slowly and intentionally, because now is the time. Not later, not someday. Now. The shift you've been sensing isn't just emotional, it's spiritual, and it's already begun. What's happening in your home is a reflection of what's happening inside of you. As I clear the atmosphere around you, I'm also cleansing the atmosphere within you. Your thoughts are quieter, your discernment is sharper, your spirit is more aligned. That is my work. You couldn't have done that alone. You were never meant to. I want you to see how powerful simple obedience really is. You didn't need dramatic rituals. You didn't need perfection. You just needed to respond, and you did. That's why peace is returning. That's why the shadows are lifting. That's why the confusion is unraveling. It wasn't magic. It was alignment. When you agree with heaven, the earth around you begins to change. And now I want to teach you how to protect what I've given you, because even a clean house needs a watchman. That watchman is you, not in fear, but in wisdom. Be mindful of what you allow through your words, your screens, your emotions. Not everything is neutral. Some things carry weight, but so do you. And now you carry more of my presence than you realize. You've made room for me, and I promise I will dwell here. Not just visit, dwell. You are not alone. This space belongs to me, and I will bless it. You may be wondering now, what if it comes back? What if I lose this peace again? But listen carefully. Fear has no place in what I've established. When I set something in order, it stays in order unless you invite confusion back in. And now that you've learned to recognize the weight of spiritual disruption, you will never again walk blindly into it. You've grown. You've been equipped. You're no longer unaware, and that awareness is your shield. Peace is not a one-time experience. It's a daily practice of alignment. When you keep me close, you keep peace close. When you prioritize my voice, other voices begin to lose their volume. You've already proven that you can walk with me through cleansing. Now I will teach you how to walk with me in sustaining, not just reacting when things get dark, but maintaining light every single day. That starts with small things. Turning off what unsettles your spirit. Letting go of objects that stir old pain. Being mindful of what you entertain. This isn't legalism. It's spiritual hygiene. And just like your body responds to what you consume, your spirit does too. What you feed grows. So feed peace. Feed stillness. Feed presence. You don't have to live on edge anymore. You don't have to wonder if you're doing it right. Just keep walking with me. Keep your ears open. Keep your heart soft. I will always warn you when something threatens your peace. I will always show you when it's time to reset. But now you won't need many signs, because you'll feel it. You'll know. That's maturity. You've entered a new rhythm, and I'll walk it with you, every step. You've spent so much of your life reacting to people, to pain, to pressure. But now I'm shifting you into a new way of living, from reaction to intention. You are no longer just managing chaos. You are now establishing peace. And that changes everything. Because peace is not passive. It's not weak. Peace is power under my authority, and you've been entrusted with it. Think of your home as more than a shelter. It's a spiritual base, a sanctuary, a place where my presence is cultivated, not just visited. That means the atmosphere matters. The words spoken there matter. The thoughts you allow to grow there, they matter. I'm not telling you this to make you anxious. I'm reminding you that you are a steward, not of fear, not of perfection, but of peace. There will still be moments when disruption knocks at the door. A sudden emotion, a strange dream, a conversation that shifts the room. Don't ignore those signals. Don't brush them off. That sensitivity isn't weakness, it's discernment. My spirit in you is alive and responsive. When it senses interference, listen. When it nudges you to pray, respond. That is how peace is guarded, not with walls, but with awareness. You no longer live in survival mode. You're not just enduring, you're building, you're hosting my spirit. That means the darkness that once lingered here can no longer return, unless you invite it. And now you won't, because you've tasted something better. You've felt the clarity of clean air, of still mornings, of restful sleep. That is your new normal now. Keep tending the fire. Keep protecting the quiet. Keep choosing what honors my presence. I will bless that. I already am. Look at how far you've come, not just in what you've cleared from your environment, but in who you've become because of it. You didn't just clean your home, you reclaimed your authority. You no longer walk as a visitor in your own space. You walk as a steward, one who watches, one who listens, one who knows the difference between peace and spiritual pressure. And that discernment, that's not random. That's maturity. That's me growing inside of you. Before, you may have tolerated things that disturbed your peace just to avoid conflict or confusion. Now you recognize the cost of silence. Now you speak. Now you shift the atmosphere with prayer, with worship, with stillness. You no longer blend into chaos. You bring calm. You bring presence. Not just emotionally, but spiritually. You've been waiting for someone to affirm that you're hearing me clearly. So let me be that voice. Yes, you are. That nudge in your heart? That pause before you say yes? That hesitation when something doesn't feel right in the room? That's not paranoia. That's the spirit I placed in you. And it's growing stronger. You're not just protected. You've become a protector. Your home is different now because you're different. You've made space for me, and I've filled it. And as long as you continue to guard that space, with love, not fear, with wisdom, not obsession, it will remain holy, and peaceful, and full of life. So don't go backward. Don't question whether it was worth it. You've broken patterns that tried to follow your family for generations. You've shifted the legacy. You've invited me in, fully. And I'm not leaving. Now that your home is filled with peace, I want you to understand something even greater, that you have become a dwelling place too. It's not just the air around you that has changed. It's the atmosphere within you. You are no longer carrying what you used to. The fear, the confusion, the weight that pressed on your chest in silence, it's lifting. Because I'm not only in your space, I'm in your soul. You've been searching for safety, for stillness, for shelter, and I want you to know, you've become a safe place. For others, for your own heart, for my presence. What used to overwhelm you no longer owns you. What used to speak loudly now falls silent when you enter the room. Because where my spirit rests, the enemy loses voice. Don't be surprised if others begin to notice. They may not understand why they feel peace around you, but they'll feel it. They may say things like, "It's different here," or "I feel calm when I'm near you." That's not about you. It's about me living in you. I shine through those who make space for me. And you've made room, not just by clearing your home, but by clearing your heart. Keep it open. Keep it soft. Don't let the world harden what I've healed. You don't have to guard yourself with walls anymore. Now you guard your peace with presence, mine. And I promise, what I've started in you, I will finish. You're no longer surviving. You're carrying light. You're carrying me. Stay close. Stay aware. Stay available. I have more to give you, and through you. There will be days ahead when the world around you feels loud again, when old pressures return, when unfamiliar heaviness tries to slip through the cracks, not because you've failed, but because peace must be protected daily. I never promised that darkness would stop knocking. I promised that it would never overcome the one who abides in me. Now that you've been awakened to what disturbs your atmosphere, you are no longer vulnerable the way you once were. You're aware, and awareness is power. Not fear-based control, but quiet spiritual confidence. You know now how to sense when something's off. You've learned to pause, to pray, to speak. That is wisdom, and I will keep sharpening it in you. You don't have to respond to every spiritual noise. You don't have to fight every emotion. Not every thought deserves your attention. When you feel something shift, ask me first. When tension enters the room, you don't have to figure it out alone. You can simply whisper, "Jesus, what is this? What should I do?" And I will respond, sometimes through peace, sometimes through prompting, but always in love. You're learning how to live not just with me, but in step with me. And that's where the real freedom is. That's where fear dies, where chaos breaks, where peace becomes your baseline, not your rare blessing. So when the noise returns, and it will, you'll know what to do. You won't panic. You won't retreat. You'll recognize it for what it is, a test, not a threat. And you'll remember, you don't carry peace occasionally. You carry it continually, because you carry me. You no longer live under the weight of the atmosphere. Now you said it. That shift didn't happen overnight. It came through surrender, through sensitivity, through moments when you could have ignored the discomfort, but chose instead to listen. And now, the spiritual authority that was once unfamiliar to you has become part of who you are. You've stepped into alignment, not just emotionally, but spiritually, and it shows. Your home is no longer just a building. It's a place where heaven is welcomed, and you are no longer just a person who prays sometimes. You are someone who walks with me, who listens, who watches, who knows when something isn't right, and calls it into order with peace instead of panic. That is what walking in my spirit looks like. It's not loud, it's not anxious, it's steady, it's aware, it's filled. This is what I meant when I said you are the light of the world. Not a spark that flickers in good moments, but a presence that pushes back darkness, simply by being, simply by carrying me. Don't underestimate how far you've come. Don't downplay the weight of what has broken off you. That shame you no longer carry, that restlessness that no longer rules your thoughts, that was spiritual, and you didn't just survive it, you overcame it, with me. And now, I'm increasing your capacity. I'm expanding the room within you, not so you can take on more pressure, but so you can carry more peace for your family, for others, for those who don't even know yet what they're feeling when they enter your space. You'll carry peace not just for you, but for them too. That's how my kingdom flows, and it's flowing through you now. The peace you carry now is not fragile. It is tested, proven, and deeply rooted. You didn't receive it lightly, and that's why it stays. You fought for this atmosphere, not with your fists, but with faith. Not with fear, but with discernment. And I watched it all. I saw the nights you whispered prayers instead of letting anxiety win. I saw the moments you walked through your home speaking my name over every room. I saw the tears. I saw the resistance. And I saw your victory. But this peace is not just for your benefit. Now I will begin to use it. Others will enter your space, physically or emotionally, and they'll feel what they didn't even know they needed. Rest, stillness, safety. They won't be able to explain it, but they'll know it's real. That's what happens when I dwell somewhere. It becomes a refuge, not only for the one who lives there, but for the ones I send. So open your heart and your home to what I want to do next. Be available, be willing, because I'm sending people who don't even know how to ask for peace, but they'll feel it through you. You won't need to say much. You won't need to fix them. Just carry me. That will be enough. Your presence filled with mine will do what no words can. This is what it means to be my vessel. You don't strive, you overflow. You don't pressure, you carry. And as you do, your home becomes more than a safe place for you. It becomes a lighthouse for others, a space of peace in a world of noise, a reminder that I still move, that I still speak, that I still restore. And yes, I chose you for this.